Welcome to Soul Searching Space, a space to remember who you truly are, who you came here to be, and what you came here to do. To be crystal clear, going from black and white thinking to full color HD, working from the inside out, reclaiming your power, waking up to your inherent wholeness, aligning soul, heart, mind, and body. Hello, and thank you for tuning in to another episode. In the previous episode, we explored that where we live and where we spend our time is important. That it's about being aware of where you thrive, where you feel on top of the world, and to figure out how to spend more time in those spaces, in those environments, in those surroundings. We also explored that when we use spaces for multiple purposes, we end up confusing the energy of that space because we are training ourselves to be and do more than one thing in that space. However, when we cultivate that self-awareness, we understand ourselves better and can work on those environments to work in our favor. I also invited you to notice the environments around you, the spaces around you, and also the sounds. What have you become aware of as you notice those spaces and the sounds you are surrounded by? How do you feel in those spaces? The question is whether we are setting our environments up to work in our favor. Our decisions are largely influenced by what's around us, and anything in our surroundings trigger certain thoughts, behaviors, patterns, habits, attitudes, and more, which determines how we act. Our brain is lazy because it likes what's familiar. So most of our daily lives are made up of the same habits. Therefore, it is up to us to decide how we want to spend our cognitive fuel. Setting ourselves up for success begins with changing our environment with our intentions. Making changes to our environment makes it easier to be and do what's aligned without having to think about staying motivated. When we set up our surroundings so that making the best decisions for us comes easily and effortlessly, then we can set ourselves up to practice better habits. Optimizing our environment to make better choices affects our actions. The changes we make may seem small initially. It might not seem like much in the beginning, but as you start to make what was familiar unfamiliar, and what is new and unfamiliar familiar, you are setting things up to work in your favor. These small improvements make it easier to do what's aligned for you. Let's explore our routines and rituals. Routines and rituals aren't just things we do. It's also about the locations in which those actions take place and also what time they took place. When we do something at the same time every day, it becomes familiar and second nature. When we do something in the same space every day, it also becomes familiar and second nature. When we tailor our spaces for specific purposes, it's easier for us to go forth with the intention of focus and attention. Doing the same thing every day at the same time helps us remember our commitment to ourselves and our intention. When we do something at the same time every day, that time keeps that memory for us. It reminds us of our intention, of our practice. We don't have to be laser focused on every activity every time. It's okay to listen to music and dance while you are cleaning, as long as they complement each other and raises your energy. However, single tasking as much as possible helps our brain in the habit of focusing on one thing at a time. If you are building a new habit, start with single tasking, and once it's familiar, you can combine it with another if that's what you want. Just remember your intention and your spaces. Any process can work for you if you immerse yourself. When you commit yourself fully, you start to experience the benefits, you lose track of time. The feeling of being fully engaged is often so rewarding that when it's time to stop, you want to return to the experience. Start with one thing. Make it a single pointed focus. Make it your number one priority. And once it's familiar and incorporated and integrated, you move on to the next. So, how do we set an intention for our new environment? What spaces in your home are used for multiple purposes? Multitasking may seem efficient on the surface, but may actually take more time in the end and involve more errors. Multitasking seems like a great way to get a lot done at once, but research has shown that our brains are not nearly as good as handling multiple tasks as we like to think they are. In fact, some research suggests that multitasking actually takes a toll on your productivity by reducing your comprehension, attention, and overall performance. For most of us, our brain isn't wired to work on multiple complex tasks simultaneously. We perform much better when we focus fully on one thing at a time. Adding mindfulness to your daily routine and rituals may help you notice the times when you are multitasking. Mindfulness can also improve your ability to focus and pay attention to one thing at a time. It turns out the periods of deep focus are also good for our brain. When we allow ourselves to have immersive experiences in form of single tasking, we are not only more productive, we actually feel better. Can you assign single-pointed focus to specific spaces in your environment for the things you want to be and do? How would it benefit you? What is one area where you can start? If you already know how you want to assign purposes for different spaces, in your environment, visualize an energetic broom cleansing and releasing the old energy, and then set the intention for the different spaces. If you don't know where to start, let's start with one of the most important ones. Sleep, your bed, your bedroom. Have you noticed that the feeling or emotion you fall asleep with at night is often the feeling or emotion you'll wake up with in the morning? Are you aware of how you are programming yourself to wake up? Our morning routines and rituals sets the tone of the day, but starting our morning routine and rituals in the evening before prepares us for the morning. What is one thing you want to be and do the next morning before you talk to anyone? What is the first thing you want to achieve tomorrow? By preparing yourself for it, it won't keep you up if you know you're going to do it and be it. Are you the kind of person who uses their phone in the bed? The first thing they check in the morning when they wake up, and the last thing they look at before they go to sleep. Can you commit to using your bed for sleeping only? And well, maybe a few other physical activities of your choice? Can you commit to moving yourself to another space to check your phone? What about your pajamas? Are you the kind of person who is in your PJs all day, in the weekends, for example? When you wear your PJs to other areas, you are carrying the energy of the night state with you. Remember that everything is energy. Did something resonate with you? Who are you going to be, and what are you going to do about it? Thank you for being here with me. Thank you for your time, and thank you for your presence. I look forward to being with you again. I am sending you so much love, and until next time, may you remember that whether we like it or not, we are products of our environments.